Hey there, Greg with Boom Up Engineering, and I've got another video here. Nothing to do with rigging and maybe slightly related to climbing, because what I needed was a knife to keep with my climbing harness. Obviously, it's good to have something with you to cut yourself free, fix up the end of a rope, things of that nature. Should always have something on you. And that's how I grew up anyway. You grew up on the farm or in the country, and you've always got a knife with you, and it comes in handy. Plus, I have young boys, and young boys are just, oh, they just love these things, just like I did growing up. So my 8-year-old and 10-year-old, they're always wanting to look at the knives in the stores, and my 11-year-old, I bought a knife for him for his birthday this last time around, and didn't want to get anything too fancy in case it got lost, so I got him something off Amazon. Civivi, I think, is maybe how you say the name, and he really liked it. And so I decided to try a different brand, not for any huge reason, but I wanted to get a knife that it didn't break the bank and had a heavy duty blade on it. And when I saw this, I figured I'd give it a try. Now the company, the brand on here, like this is Olight. I don't have but maybe one flashlight that says Olight. That's the only thing I know about this company. But they got a few knives that are branded Oknife, and so not that that really mattered, but I guess they're related, and I figured I'd give them a try. If anybody's interested, I do like this flashlight because it runs a bigger battery than most. This is a 26650 rechargeable battery, and that does last quite a while, even on a nice bright beam. So again, a little bit bigger than most, and it's more useful to me. So the O knife, I bought this off of eBay for $60, and it is it. Here's a Benchmade. This is probably $120 Benchmade when I bought it. A handful of years ago, or maybe longer. And this is a $60 O knife, and physical size pretty similar. What I like is the lock mechanisms are nearly identical. The Benchmade Axis lock, you just pull that stud back with either side of your fingers. Exactly the same thing on the O knife, and then it's obviously got a stud for flipping out the blade. So not a lot of differences here. The handle material is pretty much the same. It's supposedly G10 on both of these. They feel pretty similar. There's good grip on this knife, although the Benchmade is a little bit more textured, so it's a little more grippy. But yeah, all in all, it's a very similar knife. Like I said, I wanted a heavy-duty knife, so this has more of a sheep's foot blade. Doesn't look as sexy and as the nice pointed blade here, but for what I wanted to use it for, cutting ropes and probably using and abusing, I wanted a fairly straight blade because it'd be more easy to sharpen and a strong point. So this ticks all the boxes. It's not an irritating axis or a liner lock or something like that. Seems to be of good quality. G10 holds up, and it doesn't get cold in the winter and things like that. It doesn't seem to absorb oils and nasty stuff. So all in all, good stuff. And I'm very impressed. For $60, I don't have one complaint on this knife. Even the blade material, 154 cm, that's exactly what this Benchmade is. It's good enough for me. I think there's slightly better knife blade steels out there, but yeah, for the money and for what I'm using it for, this is about right. And even more surprising, is this is probably the sharpest out of the box blade I've ever had for any knife. I can run across my arm and take off every hair. It's not just grabbing some of them; it's taking all of them. And when this knife came in the mail, and I showed it to my 11-year-old, he was oohing and on over it, and so I I took it out and I held his head steady, and I shaved off the peach fuzz on his lip because he's 11, and he was pretty entertained by that. And yeah, good stuff. So again, nothing crazy extra here. except for maybe I don't know why they put ball bearings in these pivots. I mean, it pivots super easy, obviously with bearings in there. You know, the Benchmade, it's got a bushing in there, and if it's lubricated and it's not too tight, I mean, it flips right open. So anyway, good stuff. So I may clip this on the harness and leave it there, but if I think it's going to get knocked off too, this is my backup plan. This is the titanium utility knife by Oknife, and I didn't know what to expect, but I knew that if I got this, you could just tuck it into the webbing, behind some of the webbing, to where you knew it would never just fall out. So I'll show you what that looks like. Oh, my monkey beaver. So you can just tuck it in behind the webbing there, and just jam it in there, and that's never going to come out. So you'll always have a knife with your harness. The drawback would be you couldn't just get this out super quick. You might have to look and see what you're doing. I don't know, but maybe this will break in. But at least a knife is always there, and a knife is better than no knife. So looking at this blade here, it does have a lock on it. Initially I thought I wouldn't need that, but if you push it down, you can't deploy the blade. And so where I just showed you on the harness, you need to lock that blade in there for when you push this in between the webbing straps. You know, you're obviously pushing on this this button here, and you could slide the blade out as you're trying to slide the whole utility blade out. So that lock is actually useful. Now, if you slide the blade out, there's two locks. You know, you got a little bit of cut and length there. I mean, nothing special. And if you push it down and slide out just a little bit more, out comes the blade. So it's super easy to change the blade, and I don't see any problems with that. I mean, you're not your thumb is away from the actuator, the slider, when you're really bearing down on this. So I don't think it's going to be any problems with accidentally releasing the blade. I guess we'll find out. But this is pretty. It's got a pretty nice clip on there. I don't know if that's titanium too, but they said it was TC4 alloy type of titanium. I'm not an expert, but I looked it up, and that does seem to be legit. And yeah, I ordered a few more of these. They're $30 a pop on their website. This I got off of eBay for $60. I'll probably get more of both of these just to stash in backpacks and glove boxes, and I think maybe my younger boy will be 9 for Christmas. I might get him one. Just don't tell Mom. Maybe I'll keep it for him until he gets another year or two older. Make sure he's careful. But yeah, they're two boys are just enamored with these things. So yeah, take it for what it's worth. Pleasantly surprised with these knives. If you got any questions or comments, yeah, just leave it below and I'll try to answer. I haven't had that many different brands of knives over the years. Pretty much just Benchmade is all I can really think about that I've had as an adult. You know, growing up, it was always a buck knife, because they're reasonably priced, and that was what was available. But nowadays, like I say, some of these imports, as long as you're okay with going for an import once in a while, that's hard to argue with there. This knife is a little bit heavier, and it is thicker than the Benchmade, but it's not too bad. I have an older Benchmade that I like better than this. I don't have it, but it's thinner yet than this knife here, so it's a little bit easier to carry in jeans and whatnot. But anyway, that's about all I've got. Yeah, thanks for watching.